this Tony's OnlyFans link?
Yeah.
It's blank because it doesn't exist.
Please subscribe. I cannot figure out how to get comfortable. Okay.
I'm pretty comfy. This is my go-to spot now.
Welcome to episode 3 of
I don't know what we're calling it, but for now it's the Torque Talk with Tony and Alex.
yeah.
TT.
We're doing 2 podcasts today, 2 episodes, because Alex is going away for a week and leaving me in charge of everything.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna burn down the place.
Yeah,
perfectly.
it's that fear of leaving your one employee that's questionable.
Leaving your teenager at home.
Yeah, leaving your teenager at home. And Tony's gonna have the shop keys and the shop to himself.
And the lift and everything. So party's on me.
See, when sometimes I leave the shop earlier than Tony, and I have to text him, hey, remember to close the back door. Hey, do this, do that.
He thinks he has to text me, but I've already locked up and left the building. But
I know I'm just overthinking things, but being the
my stuff is in here too, so I would never leave this place unlocked.
That is very true. And you leave your like camera gear hidden
exactly
and stuff. So
yeah. Don't tell people that.
I said you keep it hidden.
Yeah, you'll never find it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I forget where it is.
He does.
I've come in and I'm like, where's my camera? Or when I went home and I like played my girlfriend, I was like, did you see my camera bag in the back of the cars? No, I didn't check. I'm like, why didn't you check? You're supposed to check the back seat every time you get in the car for intruders and danger. That's what I went with, although I'm the idiot that forgot the camera bag. And then I call Alex. I'm like, hey, is my camera bag at the shop? Yeah, it's at the shop. Oh, okay. Yeah. And my girlfriend is just sitting there like waiting for that apology. Like, okay.
Sad days.
Yeah.
Today's topic for the podcast, kind of similar to last week's, but in a different regard. Still getting scammed. It seems to be a trend of us getting scammed. But how we got scammed on our 335i BMW.
Which, if you watch the rest of the videos, we've been building and fixing. Not building, but fixing. You know, it was a piece of crap, and we're fixing it, so...
Yeah, it was a restoration project in a sense, right? We didn't get really into modifying it. We will soon.
But there's some plans. There
is some plans indeed. But the restoration component was a bit more of a pain than we anticipated. I went to go see this car. This was not the first car we went to go see. No, actually, this was the first car I went to go see. This was the first 335i I went to go see, and I knew that it had a little fender bender because the dude, when I messaged him, he's like, hey, I replaced the fender because my son drove it, and he messed up one of the fenders. I was like, fender, no big deal. Maybe there was something small, something else, and I went to see the car, and I looked around it. The suspension was collapsed on it, so it was sitting a bit lower than usual. And I saw the fender was replaced because it was an X-drive fender and the car was a rear drive. And one of the wheels was badly curb rashed. But other than the extent of that damage, I didn't see anything. I saw some new tie rods, which seemed normal and stuff like that. But looking under the car on, just pavement, I didn't see anything more. It wasn't until we had the car back and we threw it up on the lift, we noticed that there was extensive damage in the vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
Extensive damage as the subframe was cracked. It was split in a few spots. The steering rack was completely broken. It was not attached to the subframe, which is not a good thing. And there was a few other things like a whole bunch of mounting spaces and brackets that were just out of whack. And this was a clean title car, like no accident on the Carfax, but clearly had an accident because the dude told me that it was just a light hit and a fender replacement, when it was not.
A light hit. The entire left side was replaced, but only partially.
Yes.
There's still pieces that I guess the mechanics couldn't even get off.
No. Or it wasn't
worth. They just gave up on.
Or it wasn't worth fixing, like the subframe being cracked. There was a hole in the subframe on one side.
Yeah.
And it was not a great deal.
Speaking of hole, is gonna be an episode coming up. We're gonna podcast about it, and I'm gonna showcase a video because we have fun footage of it. But when I went to buy my recent car, the
Mm-hmm.
guy said there's a little dent in the back,
Oh my
and we
gosh.
go we go back there, and there's a hole this big in the back of the bumper. We're like, that's a dent. That's buddy, look like you put your fist through it.
So
Anyways,
I was messaging that guy on Facebook Marketplace, right? And the car looked decent, but I'll definitely say right now the pictures he took and posted were not in the same timeline as we
oh
went to go
no,
see
they
the
were
car.
not recent at all.
And he's like, "Hey, the car's like mint mechanically. It could use a polish and a buff, and just to let you know, there is a dent in the rear bumper, but nothing too major." And I was like, "All right, a dent we can deal with. Rear bumper's plastic, it's not gonna rust, nothing like
Yeah,
that. You could use a polish, sure." Tony wasn't big on the paint anyway, so he probably would have been wanted to wrap it or something.
yeah.
And the first one we went to go look at was a B6 actually, so it was not a B7 like what Tony ended up buying, and it was a 1.8T. But he saed that he needed a jump pack, because he needed to jump the car, so we brought our good old trusty jump juice, and we hooked it up, and we went to go try to start the car, and he's like, "Oh yeah, the crankshaft position sensor is giving a code, and it doesn't idle."
I think we can cover that later because I have actual footage of us talking to him and stuff.
Yeah.
So let's not so much go off topic and
Yeah.
Let's save that.
All right. But the big thing was that dent in the back.
It's hilarious.
And
There's
and
a
he's like,
hole.
"Oh yeah, the rear bumper has a few little dents," and we go and there's a hole. There's
Yeah.
a hole. Like it looks like someone went, punched it through, took the piece, and ate it. The-
I wouldn't say eat it, but okay.
Someone was hungry for a B6 A4 bumper.
Delicious A4 bumper. Yeah.
I know A4s are sexy.
There's a
and
lot of
delicious.
protein in that, so
I don't. Maybe not in the plastic components. I'd say there's a lot of probably like iron in the fenders, but not in that rear bumper.
in the rust.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Donuts.
That's oh my gosh, that was so loud.
I turned on my Homer voice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another like hole that we talked about, but our subframe had a chunk of hole in it. And then I went to go buy another subframe to replace it. And actually, big shout out to GSR Auto out in Hamilton. I went to go buy a subframe from him. He dropped it that morning. I went to go pick it up, and that subframe was cracked as well. And I was like, "Hey man, the subframe's cracked as well." And he's like, "You know what? Just leave it here with me. I'm gonna weld it up for you, and I'll either bring it to Vaughan or something like that," because he was all the way in Hamilton. But I ended up just telling him to drop it off at my godmother's place in Hamilton, and we saw them like during the holidays, so I just picked it up from them, and he welded it and reinforced it and everything at no additional charge, because I drove out to him, and it was supposed to be good, and he dropped it out of the car that morning, so he just didn't know that it was going to be in the
I
shape
thought
it
it
was
was
in.
Alex.
No, I went to go see Alex afterwards.
Oh, I thought Pona did it.
No. I went to go see Pona
Oh,
afterwards.
okay.
So Pona would have welded that up for me, but the guy was nice enough and he offered to weld it.
That's
right?
nice. Yeah.
And reinforced it too, which is good. So we didn't have to worry about it going again. So now the BMW has a nice subframe. So many things replaced, but it's still not perfect. Like some of the oil cooler bracket is still messed up, and the front rad bracket is still a little messed up, which we're gonna fix.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot more on our plate than we anticipated. Like the big selling point for that car was no check engine light, no wastegate rattle, and the engine actually ran perfect. It was leaking so much oil, like
Oh, yeah.
out of
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
Trans was leaking, engine oil was leaking from the valve cover, from the oil filter housing gasket, but we replaced it all and it doesn't leak anymore.
Yeah,
engine-
it runs fine now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we put in a lot of work. But the whole thing with that car is I mean, Alex found a nicer car, but the bosses said, no, buy this one. And that was probably the better choice because we got a lot of content out of it. Like, we got 6 or 7 videos and a complete restoration
Yep.
video out of that. Like, that'll be coming soon, later.
Yeah.
Probably
Once
when
Tony
Alex
edits
gets
it.
back,
Yeah.
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 We got the subframe, the control arms, the steering rack, the tie rods, the ball joints. We did coolant housing, like the reservoir,
Oil filter housing. Yeah. Oil filter
the
housing.
coolant reservoir too.
No, power steering reservoir.
Oh, power steering.
Power steering
Yeah.
reservoir. Yeah.
We did brakes.
We did.
We did. No, we did complete suspension. Yeah,
We did complete
shocks
suspension.
and struts,
Control arms, everything. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
full overhaul on the car.
wheels, tires.
Wheels and tires, summers and winters, because
Yeah.
the original wheels were. I need to get rid of those wheels.
Yeah.
If anyone's looking for OEM 335i wheels, just please buy them off me. I think I'm just gonna post them up for sale. We were gonna do like something with them, like burnouts or something, but like they're just taking up space at the shop at this point.
They are, yeah.
And I have a wheel addiction, I will say. I've gone through so many sets of wheels, and these are not wheels that you want to keep. Like they're curb rash, they're wrecked. Like,
yeah.
like 2 of them are mint, 2 of them are wrecked beyond reality. So I just need to find someone that did the same thing and needs 2.
Or like give it to a racer. Somebody
Or
who just wants spare
or
wheels.
drift wheels or something like that.
Yeah.
Someone's definitely bound to want a cheap set of wheels
Yeah.
that are straight, because I have no idea how those wheels are straight with
Yeah.
all the curb rash and stuff they have on them. They are straight, but that's OEM BMW wheels. They're pretty strong. So we'll have to get rid of those somewhat. But maybe we'll have to test the diff in the back after we do the fluid, though, real quick.
Just put it on trays.
Yeah. I don't think we need trays, but
No.
it is a rear drive. So,
Yeah.
but I think the funniest part is that this restoration project took us much longer than we originally anticipated, because we got winter tires for it. And we've done,
It's now spring almost.
it is basically spring. I'm preparing to swap the tires on the other cars
Yeah.
and pull the Miata out, and the Beamer is on winter tires that I've done 30 kilometers.
Yeah. It hasn't been driven much.
No.
It's honestly like, I don't know. We don't even know if it works properly because we haven't really driven it. We
No.
have to do that because we are going to go on a big road trip to Banff and visit a couple people we met at Sick Week and stuff. So,
And we're gonna stop by some other key shops, like maybe to not spoil it too much, but since I was a big part of the Driven show back in the day, a lot of the Driven families out across Canada, because it was a national show. So we're gonna stop by and see some cool cars. One of the guys we saw, actually, Gojira, Trevor, that has the GTR. His tuner, Sean, is out in Saskatoon. So we're gonna stop by and Saskatoon, bro. Saskatchewan. How do they say it in Grown Ups in that movie?
It's
Oh
like,
yeah, I'm from Saskatoon, eh?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you know, Saskatoon. Like it's he doesn't even pronounce it correctly.
No.
I can't even say it anymore.
Saskatoon. Saskatchewan, Saskatoon.
I can't even say it.
Saskatoon,
now.
Saskatchewan.
Saskatoon, eh? And he's jacked,
Yeah.
and he has he sounds like he just inhaled a helium balloon.
Helium
Like
balloon.
that was funny. That was a good scene.
Yeah.
How dare they make fun of Canadians? We don't all sound like that
No. Hey, look at Ryan
in our
Reynolds.
igloos and stuff. Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds doesn't.
I know it's hard to He seems very American these days.
Yeah. Very American. He has a freaking whiskey company and gin company
Yeah,
makes his
gin
own gin.
company.
and everything. So, and who else? Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake.
Oh yeah, Justin Timberlake? No,
Is he Canadian?
I don't.
I don't know. We gotta look this up right now. Let's see. Where is Justin Timberlake from? Oh boy.
Man, we are so off topic now.
No, we are. Where is he from?
Yeah, while he's doing that, so the whole point we got
Memphis,
the car.
Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
okay.
not Canadian.
Not Canadian.
Yeah, so the whole point we got the car was a content car, and it served its purpose. But we hope to do some really fun things with it now that it's fixed. Now that it's fixed, we're gonna ruin it again. So yeah, stay tuned for that, definitely. But yeah, if you're gonna buy a car, be sure to check the subframe, I guess.
Yeah, honestly, like Tony saw when we went out to buy his A4, we did a much more thorough inspection of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a perfect car either because it was lower than the budget we actually had for the 335i. So it was a cheaper car, but I think overall we haven't put it up on the lift yet. I think we need to.
There's probably about $600 or $700 of work that needs to go into it.
Yeah, but it was nothing major or impacting.
Yeah.
Right. The thermostat, I'd say, is the biggest thing. That's one thing we didn't get to see. We did go on a very cold day, so the thermostat wasn't something that stuck out to us. But then on the warmer days when it wasn't getting up to temp, it was like, oh, thermostat stuck open. Needs
and
to get done.
that's hard to tell. It's honestly because it was winter. They probably couldn't even figure it out because they didn't really seem to know. Like we sat there while they tried to take out a battery, and I watched them brush off the snow and scrape the entire hood with a snow brush, and I was like, oh well, now I gotta buff that. But yeah, so they didn't seem like they knew much about cars, so it's possible that they didn't even know that the thermostat was broken.
Yeah, or going out.
So who knows how long it was actually broken for? Plus, the car was like sitting there for like a month, 2 months. I don't know. So it's whatever. It definitely needs to be replaced.
It definitely did, but regardless, I think it was a pretty good deal for
I like it.
2-liter turbo.
My girlfriend likes it. It's not it is my car, but I have an Eclipse that I love, but I don't have 2 parking spots, so I can only drive the one car. So
obviously you're gonna daily drive the Quattro in the winter. So
exactly, yeah.
That you've used 0 times because it hasn't even snowed in the time you've owned that Quattro.
It's been a very mild winter, yeah.
The remainder of the winter, at least. Honestly, the day we went to go pick up the car, it was freezing.
Yeah, but it was freezing. But okay, so not mild. What I mean is dry.
Yeah,
there's been no snow. No. Like we've had 2 snowstorms. This is Canada.
Yeah,
Canada's like supposed to be known for our snowstorms.
Talking about snowstorms, Newfoundland, they just got hit with 68 centimeters of snow. They had a snowplow
68?
stuck. Yeah, snowplows were getting stuck.
Whoa.
68. That's like half a meter.
Yeah.
That's a lot of snow.
That's crazy.
I guess it just doesn't like Toronto.
Yeah.
We're not east enough.
I guess so, yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe next year you'll get more Quattro action in your Audi.
I don't really care if I do or not.
Because it's the girlfriend's car.
It's for the girlfriend. Hopefully my car will be fixed by then. So.
Tony's going to look out his apartment window and she'll be doing donuts in the parking lots.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the hope.
Accidentally.
Accidentally.
Yeah. It won't be on purpose.
No, she's a fresh driver.
Yeah, so.
Anyways, that's how you do buy and don't buy a car, and that's how we got scammed on our 335i.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining in, and we'll see you in the next podcast.
Remember, Parts Avatar has got your back, so don't forget to subscribe to the Parts Avatar channel so you don't miss any of these exciting videos.